Mars, the fourth planet from the Sun, discovered in 1610 by Galileo Galilei and around half the size of the Earth. I'm Pippi_362, and here's everything you need to know about Mars. Mars has a density of 3.93 grams per cubic centimeter and a mass of 6.39 times 10 to the power of 23 kilograms, which is 11% of the Earth's mass. Mars is called the red planet, mostly because it is red, well, a rusty red. This is because of the iron oxide in its atmosphere, just like the rust that forms here on Earth when iron oxidizes. Mars is also called Mars because of the Roman god Mars, the god of war. Mars is about half the size of the Earth, with a radius of 3,390 kilometers or 2,106 miles. For example, if Earth was the size of a nickel, Mars would be the size of a raspberry. Just like the Earth, Mars orbits the Sun. When it orbits closer to Earth, it is less than 56 million kilometers or 35 million miles away from Earth. But when it's at its furthest from Earth, it is almost 400 million kilometers or 250 million miles away. Mars' atmosphere is very thin compared to the Earth's. Earth has a denser atmosphere that is abundant in oxygen and water vapor, which is warm and conductive to life. Mars, meanwhile, is very cold, but can become quite warm at certain times in its orbit. It's also quite dry and very dusty, and all of Mars' water on the surface is solid ice, except for the vapor in its atmosphere. The average temperature during the day is negative 62.7 degrees Celsius or negative 81 degrees Fahrenheit. A night on Mars is usually negative 99 degrees Celsius or negative 146 degrees Fahrenheit. Mars has volcanoes. There are less than 20 named volcanoes on Mars, and the biggest volcano is 100 times bigger by volume than Earth's largest volcano of Mauna Loa in Hawaii. This volcano is Olympus Mons. Not only is it the biggest volcano on Mars, but in the entire solar system. And it is so tall, and since Mars' atmosphere is so thin, that if you were to hike Olympus Mons, you would literally hike into space. And you would need to keep warm at outside temperatures being as cold as negative 73.3 degrees Celsius or negative 100 degrees Fahrenheit. You would also need to pack oxygen, probably in an oxygen tank, since Mars has 200 times less oxygen than Earth. And you would still die because it would take 6 months to a year, which is 262,800 to 525,600 minutes long. Talking about minutes, a second on Mars is 1.027 Earth seconds, a minute on Mars is 61.62 Earth seconds, a full day on Mars is called a sol, and a sol is about 40 minutes longer than an Earth day. A sol is, in Earth time, 1 day, 0 hours, 37 minutes, and 35.244 seconds. A year on Mars is 687 Earth days, or 668 sols long. Mars has 2 moons, named Phobos and Deimos. Phobos and Deimos are tidally locked to Mars, meaning only one side of the moons are facing Mars and don't rotate. Phobos and Deimos appear to be asteroids that now orbit Mars. They also appear to be made of carbon-rich rock mixed with ice. Phobos orbits really close to Mars, closer than any other moon in the solar system. In the far future, it'll get so close it will be broken apart from Mars' gravity, giving the planet rings. Phobos is traveling so fast that it orbits the planet 3 times each day. It is also very small. It reflects very little light from the sun, so it does not appear very bright in the sky. Deimos also reflects light, but not that much. But what the moons can do, though, is eclipse in front of the sun. Well, try to. Since Mars is further away from the sun than Earth, and Mars' moons are small, they only partially block out the sun. Their eclipses are therefore called transits. Mars also has seasons, 4 to be exact, and they're all roughly twice as long as the Earth's. The seasons are the same as Earth's seasons: summer, autumn, winter, and spring. In Mars' winter, it actually snows. This is because of the vapor in its atmosphere, and Mars' winter gets as cold as negative 130 degrees Celsius or negative 200 degrees Fahrenheit. Since Mars doesn't have that much water in its atmosphere, means the humidity is also really low, making winters there a dry cold. Mars winter takes 154 Earth days. In summer on Mars, it is around 21 degrees Celsius or 70 degrees Fahrenheit and takes 178 Earth days. Autumn takes 142 days and spring takes 194 days. The temperatures for spring and autumn on Mars haven't been precisely measured yet because I could not find any exact temperatures. Back onto topic. As I said previously, all of Mars' water on the surface is solid ice. But what about under the surface? Well, on September 27, 2012, NASA scientists announced that the Curiosity rover found direct evidence for an ancient stream bed in the Gale crater. Rounded pebbles within this crater indicate the breaking apart of rock fragments within the water flows that cross the Gale crater. The key evidence for the ancient stream comes from the size and rounded shape of the gravel in and around the bedrock. NASA also detected a 20-kilometer wide lake of liquid water underneath solid ice in the Planium, Australia region. We assume the water is kept from freezing by dissolving salts and the pressure of the ice above. Understanding the extent and situation of water on Mars is vital to access the planet's potential for harboring life, and also for providing usable resources for future human exploration. Water is so important because we don't only need it to survive, but it is capable of dissolving substances and enabling key chemical reactions in animal, plant, and microscopic cells. Its chemical and physical properties allow it to dissolve more substances than other liquids. NASA has sent 5 rovers to Mars, the names of which are Sojourner, Spirit, Opportunity, Curiosity, and Perseverance. Sojourner was the first, and who was no bigger than a microwave. Sojourner's main mission was to test the Martian environmental technical solutions that were developed by engineers of the NASA research laboratories, and to determine micro-rover performance in the poorly understood planetary terrain of Mars. Sojourner had 3 cameras, a forward stereo system, and a rear color imaging system. These imaging systems were used over the course of the rover's mission to get close-up views of rocks and soil. It also had wheels to navigate and move around. Sojourner was launched on December 4th, 1996 aboard a Delta II booster and reached Mars on July 4th, 1997. It operated in Aries-Vallis Channel in the Chryse-Platania of the Oxypolis Quadrilateral from July 5th to September 27th, 1997, when the lander cut off communications with Earth. Sojourner spent 83 days of a planned 7-day mission exploring the Martian terrain, snapping photographs, and taking chemical, atmospheric, and other measurements. As Sojourner drove short distances, it used its camera to take pictures of the Martian landscape. It sent back more than 550 pictures, and the Mars rover used instruments to study what the nearby Martian rocks and dirt were made of. It helped us understand Mars terrain so we can design more rovers to better navigate Mars landscape, so we can one day make a settlement there. Spirit, also known as MER-A, Mars Exploration Rover A, is a Mars robotic rover, and its goal was to search for and characterize a variety of rocks and soils that hold clues to past water activity. Spirit's body is a structure that protects the rover's vital organs, aka the inside of the rover. It had computers to process information, cameras, and instruments that gave the rover information about its environment. It had a way to extend and reach and collect rock samples for study. And of course, wheels. Spirit was active from 2004 to 2010. Spirit was operational on Mars for 2,208 sols, or 3.3 Martian years, or 2,249 Earth days, which is 6 years and 77 days. Opportunity was the second of the 2 rovers launched in 2003, but was the 3rd rover to go on Mars and begin traversing the red planet in search of signs of ancient water, and to search for a range of rocks and soil types, then look for clues of past water activity on Mars. The rover explored the Martian terrain for almost 15 years, far outlasting her planned 90-day mission. Opportunity was a 6-wheeled, solar-powered robot standing 1.5 meters or 4.9 feet high, 2.3 meters or 7.5 feet wide, and 1.6 meters or 5.2 feet long, and weighing 180 kilograms or 400 pounds, and had 6 wheels on a rocket buggy system to enable mobility. Opportunity was operational on Mars for 5,111 sols, which is 14 years and 138 days, launched on July 7, 2003 as a part of NASA's Mars Exploration Rover program. It landed in Marandani Planium On January 25th, 2004, 3 weeks after its twin, Spirit, or Mir-A, touched down on the other side of the planet. Both Spirit and Opportunity were sent to Mars to find more clues about the history of water there and to see if the red planet could have ever supported life. To do this, scientists sent the two rovers to two different sides of the planet to maximize the area. Both rovers measured the type and abundance of iron-bearing minerals, some of which are associated with water-driven processes. In this way, Opportunity found a mineral geosite and Spirit found the mineral goethite. The rovers measured the chemical elements, some of which were needed for life, in rocks and soils. This shows that Mars could have supported life, or maybe still can if we fix it up a bit. In this case, then Elon Musk's plan to put humans on Mars by 2030 and to have 1 million people on Mars by 2050 is even more likely to happen than ever. The next rover is Curiosity. Curiosity is a car-sized Mars rover designed to explore the Gale crater on Mars as a part of NASA's Mars Science Laboratory mission. Curiosity's main mission is to determine if Mars was or is suitable for life. While it is not designed to find life itself, the rover has many technologies on board that can bring back information about the surrounding environment. The rover's power comes from a multi-mission radioisotope thermoelectric generator which produces electricity from the heat of plutonium-238's radioactive decay. The rover also has a ChemCam that uses a rock-zapping laser and a telescope mounted atop Curiosity's mast. It also includes spectrometers and electrometers inside the rover. The laser can hit rock or soil targets up to about 7.0104 meters or 23 feet away, with enough energy to excite a pinhead-sized spot into a plasma. Curiosity was launched on November 26, 2011. As of November 11, 2022, Curiosity has been on the planet Mars for 3,649 sols, which is 3,794 total days, or 10 years, 97 days since landing on August 6, 2012. The Curiosity rover found out that ancient Mars had the right chemistry to support living microbes. Curiosity found sulfur, nitrogen, oxygen, phosphorus, and carbon, key ingredients necessary for life, in the powder sample drilled from the Sheepbed Mudstone in Yellowknife Bay. Curiosity set out to answer the question, did Mars ever have the right environmental conditions to support small life forms called microbes? Early in its mission, Curiosity's scientific tools found chemical and mineral evidence of past habitable environments on Mars, so if life could have existed there before, it might still can. The last rover that got sent to Mars is Perseverance. Like Curiosity, the Perseverance rover includes a robotic arm, although Perseverance's arm is longer and stronger, measuring 2.1 meters or 6 feet 11 inches. The arm hosts an elaborate rock coring and sampling mechanism to store geologic samples from the Martian surface in Sertile catching tubes. Situated far from the Mars Curiosity rover, Perseverance allows NASA to explore new areas of the planet Mars and even begin to test technology to support future human travel to Mars. Perseverance has some of the most advanced rover tech. Perseverance has a computer, front has cams, rear has cams, Mars nav cams, Mars Cam Z, a super cam, microphones, suspensions, wheels, a turret, coring drill, PIXL, Sherlock, Watson, sample handling, a radioisotope thermoelectric generator as a power source, UHF antenna, high gain antenna, low gain antenna, META, which is a weather station, MOXIE, which produces oxygen from carbon dioxide from the Mars atmosphere, RIMFAX, which is a ground-penetrating radar capable of seeing geologic features under the surface, name chips, rover look-up camera, rover look-down camera, and finally, AI navigation. The Mars 2020 Perseverance rover launched on July 30th, 2020 at 4:50 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time or 7:50 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time and landed on Mars on February 18th, 2021. Surface operations last at least one Mars year, about 687 Earth days. On February 18th, 2021, it landed in Jericho Crater, the site of an ancient lake and river delta. There, the rover searched for microscopic fossils in the rocks that formed in Mars' warm, wet past. It also looked for carbon-containing molecules called organics that form the building blocks of life on Earth. Perseverance focuses on surface-based studies of the Martian environment, seeking preserved signs of biosignatures in rock samples that formed in ancient Mars environments with conditions that might have had microscopic life. The Perseverance rover is demonstrating key technologies for using natural resources in the Martian environment for life support and fuel. It is also monitoring environmental conditions so mission planners understand better how to protect future human explorers. And talking about human explorers, how can we set up a sustainable settlement on Mars? One option is robotic mining that can provide water and fuel. Robotic mining is the key to developing a colony on Mars within the next 30 years, as Elon Musk said he would do. Mars will be colonized by humans by the year 2050, as long as autonomous mining processes become more commonly viable. Another option is living in artificial Mars habitats with complex life support systems. One key aspect of this would be water processing systems. Being made of mainly water, a human being would die in a matter of days without it. Say we use these technologies and are able to colonize Mars, but what would we build with? Well, the Martian soil, basalt, and Martian concrete are construction material options. These construction materials are expected to withstand the Martian environment conditions. Construction needs a combination of in-situ energy and intelligent construction technologies. And Elon Musk plans to build a self-sustaining city on Mars, and might be a reality very soon, as Elon Musk recently revealed that astronauts on Mars could become a reality by 2029. The SpaceX CEO has a long-standing vision of establishing a city on the red planet, but we can't live on Mars without you. That's going to be the end of the video. Hopefully you learned something new. And if you enjoyed, make sure to hit the like button, it really helps out. And if you like this content and want more, hit subscribe. As always, learn the facts.